Hi, Dawn Lewis here with a project featuring for the first time Kindred stamps. I am using a stamp set today called Video Game Brothers. I'll let you use your imagination for this one, and I'm very excited to be stocking Kindred stamps here in Australia now. I'm going to mostly work with Princess Peach, but I have some bonuses at the end. I'm stamping with Memento Tuxedo Black ink on Express It blending card. I have a white card base. I have some pink and black cardstock as well as a little bit of pattern paper. I also have printed out some my own sentiment. I'm using some dies, and I'll talk more about the sentiments later, and all of the measurements are on my blog. Tombow mono adhesive as well as 3mm double-sided tape foam tape, glossy accents, bone folder of course. I've got my scissors and a cutting knife. I have some pink embroidery floss. I'm using Distress Oxide inks for the first time, and boy are they fun, using a blending tool with a foam pad on it. I'll be stamping with my MISTI because I like to double stamp, and I'm colouring with a variety of Copic markers. The other tools I will be using are my Tonic trimmer. I have a white gel pen, black glaze pen, gold spicker pen, and I'll also be using some teeny tiny gems from this nail art gem wheel. So let's start with the stamping. I'm lining up my Princess Peach stamp on a scrap of Express It blending card, and because I'm stamping with Memento, which isn't super dark, I stamp with my MISTI because I like to have it darker and double stamp. And quite frankly, I suck at doing that with a block. So I like to use my stamping tool. All of the colours I've used to colour in on the left-hand side of the screen. If you want to slow it down, I'm pretty sure you can actually slow down YouTube videos, but I did rush through this fairly quickly because it's pretty basic colouring. So I've given her all of the classic Princess Peach colours. She's got a gold crown, a pink dress, the blonde hair, the blue gems, and I am using a variety of dyes. So I'm starting with this dotted circle die, which I'm going to cut out of black, and I'm putting quite a few layers under our princess. I mean, she's a princess, she deserves a stage, right? I'm also cutting another dotted circle and a scalloped circle from white cardstock, just regular white cardstock. I'm going to start with Picked Raspberry in the Distress Oxide inks, and oh my goodness, when everyone says these blend really well, they are not kidding you. They blend really well, and this is really quite dodgy white cardstock. I'm also using the Wild Honey, and I'm going to blend them together, and where they cross over in the middle creates this beautiful peach color. So I'm doing the exact same inking on the scalloped circle as well as the plain white circle. I've been a little bit more generous with the pink on the scallop circle and more generous with the yellow, the Wild Honey, on the other circle. So this is a sentiment that I created myself, and anyone who orders this set will actually receive a couple of sentiments as a bonus in their package. This one says, I hope your birthday is peachy. And I've just marked a small measurement up the center, and I used my mat, the guidelines on the mat, to find the center there. And I've just cut it like a giant banner by taking a very broad and narrow triangle out of the bottom of it. Again, I'm going to ink this with the Picked Raspberry up the top and the Wild Honey down the bottom. And I like to clean up my craft mat as I go because I don't want to pick too much of it up. I was a bit worried about it picking up fingerprints in this ink, but it actually wasn't too bad. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape, and we're going to mat this greeting onto some black cardstock. So I'm just putting it down even at the top, but with a very small black border all the way around, and trimming it with my knife and mat and ruler combo. So this little gem, I've printed those out as well, and I've just coloured it solidly with the Picked Raspberry, fussy cut my princess, and now it's onto the pink panel. This is just a piece of pink textured cardstock like basil that I've used to go and to be our big centerpiece mat. I've cut a piece of pattern paper to fit directly across, and now I'm going to cut a matching black mat. I did ink around the edge just to give a bit of continuity, and I chose to use Tombow mono adhesive today just so I can move things around and I have a moment to get things lined up where I really want them to be lined up. So we're going to add the mat. I'm going to put the greeting on first because that way everything else can work around the greeting. I've taken two small pieces of embroidery thread. You could use twine or you could use pretty much anything you like. And I've crossed them over so that they are crossed over off center, and I'm going to put that off center section over to the right and pop that on just above the greeting. So now it's time to get all of our princess layers. I'm putting the scalloped onto the black and then the plain onto the scalloped, and I'm going to put some double-sided foam tape onto the princess. I think she should stand out. She is a princess after all. So I'm just going to pop her, we'll put that on first because it's easier, and then put Princess Peach. So you see her dress is pink at the bottom, her hair's yellow at the top. I went opposite with the circles. I'm adding some foam tape to the little pink heart, and I'm putting that over the embroidery thread where it crosses over. Her crown is being spicker golded, so it's got a little bit of pizzazz and sparkle, and I'm also using a black glaze pen on her eyes. I've added glossy accents to her gems on her necklace and her crown, as well as the heart embellishment. For her earrings, I am adding teeny tiny nail art gems. They're just so cute. And then I went back in after the black glaze pen had dried and popped highlights on her eyes with white gel pen. It's just a hangover from my days as a painter. And here's our finished card. So my idea here was to really help her stand out, and I did some companion cards. I mean, I couldn't help myself. So rather than show you the whole thing because it's very self-explanatory, here I've just layered things up, I did think I would show you how I colored it. Now this little circle on his cap is blank, so I took a what do you call it, a little fine liner, and I've put an L. Now we know that Luigi is coloured in green. He has green, and his moustache is quite plain. I've also coloured a one-up little mushroom to go with him, and the traditional blue overalls. He also has brown shoes. Now for the Mario card, I've done the same again. I've offset my circles. He's got a little red mushroom to go with him, and you can tell that this is Mario because he has little waves in his moustache. And I'm adding a letter M to his cap so that you know that it's Mario. Apparently the moustaches relate to eyelashes on their matching princesses. It's great to have daughters who know this kind of stuff. So if you are looking for this Video Game Brothers or any kindred stamps, you can now get them in Australia at dawnlewis.com.au. There's something you would like me to order in, please fill out a pre-order form and let me know. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and especially to you if you subscribe. I really appreciate it. You can find a link to all of the details and materials list on my blog linked in the description box below. I do hope that you have a very crafty day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.